the heart of New York City, the night had wrapped itself in a cloak of mystery. The glowing lights of Times Square shimmered in the distance, but the subway tunnels were a world unto themselves, gloomy yet vibrant, filled with the pulse of the city's energy. A lone passenger sat on a worn-out vinyl seat of a late-night train, the rhythmic clatter of the wheels echoing through the carriage. The overhead lights flickered, casting fleeting shadows across the empty seats. This was Jamie, an aspiring musician, known for her soulful melodies that had yet to find an audience in the bustling metropolis. As the train rumbled forward, Jamie's thoughts danced between dreams of the stage and the harsh reality of her empty wallet. The seats around her were as silent as her hopes. Suddenly, the train came to a grinding halt, darkness seeping in through the window. A chilling breeze swept into the carriage, and Jamie felt a presence. A silhouette emerged from the shadows, a man standing with an air of desperation. His eyes glinted under the dim light, and as he approached, he asked, "Do you have a dime?" Instinctively, Jamie reached into her pocket, pulling out a dollar bill instead. "Here," she said, her voice steady. She handed it over, determined to help someone in need. But the man's demeanor shifted in an instant. The dollar bill danced in the air as he quickly revealed a gun from his coat. "Empty your pockets!" he barked, his voice harsh and demanding. For a fleeting moment, fear gripped Jamie. But fear morphed into resolve. In one swift motion, she slapped his face, the sound echoing like a clap of thunder through the still carriage. In that instant, she seized the opportunity and managed to wrestle the gun from his hands, her heart racing against the backdrop of the city that never slept. "You thought I'd be an easy target?" she challenged, holding the weapon firmly. With trembling hands, the man's bravado crumbled. "Please, I need the money," he stammered, desperation leaking from his words. "Then let's see what you've got," Jamie countered, now the one in control. She ordered him to empty his pockets, her eyes locked on his as he reluctantly pulled out a wad of cash, thousands of dollars, neatly folded. Jamie's heart raced. She had never even held so much money at once, let alone seen it so easily offered to her. "You should have chosen your target more wisely," she said, tucking the cash into her own pockets. But as the weight of her choice sank in, the man's eyes darkened with a mix of anger and moral decay. In a split second, the vibrancy of the city faded into a backdrop of shadows. In a moment of panic and defiance, the gun fired. The sound was deafening, reverberating through the carriage, but it was Jamie who had pulled the trigger. Time seemed to slow as the man fell to the ground. A chilling silence enveloped the train, leaving only the faint hum of the city above. Jamie's breath came in quick gasps. Her heart raced not just for the thrill of survival, but in realization of what she had become in mere moments. As the train doors slid open with a clang at the next station, she stepped off, the weight of the money in her pockets feeling heavier than she could bear. The city lights blinked down on her with indifference. She walked away from the scene of her transformation, from a struggling artist to something darker, a ghost of who she once was. It was late. The streets were quiet, but the buzz of the subway lingered in her mind. She'd once dreamed of playing music that resonated in the hearts of others. Now, all that echoed were the sounds of her own heartbeat and the thrum of a city that moved on, indifferent to the ghost on its streets. And so, under the glittering lights of New York, a new story began for Jamie, one that would be intertwining threads of survival, triumph, and haunting memories of choices made under the weight of desperation. She wondered if she could ever return to the melody she lost that night. Would anyone ever hear the true song of her heart again?